she was my mom first, so she was protecting me from a lot of things, but her delivery was it could have been a lot smoother, you know what I'm saying? And then Dallas Austin just got tired of it because he's the one putting the money up, and he had a weird relationship with Joyce Irby. None of this had anything to do with me, but I was the one affected by it. So just one day, Dallas got tired and called Capitol and was like, I love Sammie, but let's just stop.
Real life. If that shit ain't real life,
it ain't real life. Just ain't real life. Street Starz. You know what time it is.
Yeah, I remember seeing when you came back 7 years later when you went viral.
Yeah.
And one of the things that when I was following you, I noticed that you were a spiritual person. You know what I'm saying? And you actually leaned on that, and I thought that was dope. Talk about that. Like, was that some of the things that helped you get through just this music journey?
That was the thing. You know what I'm saying? To this day, I think people forget that we're in a spiritual warfare. It's not just racism. It's not just financial woes and financial bondage, but there's things called generational curses, you know what I'm saying? There is a dark and there is a light. And that's just something that was instilled in me. Shout out to my parents for keeping me in church. And at that point, it's up to me to keep the relationship with God, you know what I mean? So I'm not here to put religion on anybody, but I do believe in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I've experienced it. And I wouldn't even be here today and this successful still in my 23rd year of doing music if it wasn't for God, you know what I mean? So it's just something that if I didn't have a source to go to pray to, and to find some peace and some solace, it's easy to go insane and lose your mental. So God is my everything. And if I'm ever detached too long, I begin to lose myself. So he has a beautiful, weird way of making us come back to him, you know what I'm saying? But I think it's all about basking in unconditional love and understanding that there is a higher power that orchestrated this from such a life for myself.
Now, there you go. And you mentioned something. You had to go back to school during your success.
Yeah.
How many girls had you sing to them during lunch? Like, hey, Sammie.
Oh, man. High school was like some of the best 4 years, but worst years of my life. Because, it was weird for girls and guys to see me in geometry, right? And then they can go home and watch me on 106 and Park. They couldn't understand that. And I couldn't understand it either, to be honest with you. I never would sing. The way I left the game the first time, it left a bad taste in my mouth musically. So I want to be honest, half of it was to go back to high school and to get my education and to have a sense of normalcy. But also my mother, Dallas Austin, and Joyce Irby, that trifecta, they ran my career when I was a kid, and they butted heads every day.
Yeah.
Every day. My mom had her vision and she was my mom first, so she was protecting me from a lot of things, but her delivery was it could have been a lot smoother, you know what I'm saying? And then Dallas Austin just got tired of it because he's the one putting the money up, and he had a weird relationship with Joyce Irby. None of this had anything to do with me, but I was the one affected by it. So just one day, Dallas got tired and called Capitol and was like, I love Sammie, but let's just stop Sammie train. So that's the whole stint. So imagine me not understanding that. And now I'm platinum, and I just did Jay Leno, and I just did the Nickelodeon tour, and I'm on all that. And now you put me in class. I felt like, I'm all pro education, but school, once you've seen the world, is like prison for me. I'm a creative, you know what I mean? I'm famous, I'm on television. You can't just throw me back into school like I'm a regular kid anymore. So the guys hated me, but the girls loved me. So it was it was a very strenuous time in school, you know what I'm saying? For real.
Was the deal with Capitol your first deal? And was it lucrative for your parents? I mean, did you see anything from that yourself?
Yeah. The advance, now that I know exactly the business, I didn't know the business.
Yeah, back then you're like, wait, we're gonna buy you a PlayStation.
Yeah.
Like, get you.
I had all the cool sneaks in the games, but the advance wasn't crazy, but I took off with my first single, you know what I'm saying? And my mom learned the game quick. So whereas you would have thought I was going on a promo run for free on a tour, my mom already was like, nah, it's 10, 12,000 a show. So we started racking up early, and that's something that the label did not like, that my mom caught on to. We skipped some steps. We was like, nah, he's getting money, so we're gonna get money. Y'all are getting money, y'all recouped, we gonna get money. So I started noticing, my mom went out one day with this car and came back with an SUV. Christmases was different. When I never forget, she surprised me and was like, yo, go take the trash out. But on the side of the house that was getting remodeled, by the way, there was a go-kart for my brother, a four-wheeler for me, and this for my sister. So I was like, oh, I think I got something to do with this, because life wasn't like this before I like it and from the bottom to the top. But when you're a kid, man, 12, 13, 14, you don't understand all the money parts of it. You just understand that I'm good at singing, and if I could just run around stage and jump up and down and make the girls go crazy, I'm winning. So like I didn't really understand the financial part of it and my contribution to such until like hindsight. So I'm like 16, 17, then I was like, oh, I was really doing it.
Shout out Reallyfe Street Starz, nigga. Move. Hey.